Walk up in this shit like Will. Now it's on me, get you killed. That's a metaphor for the skill. Ain't no metaphor for the real. Under influence of the pill. Majority of rappers on the bill. Bullshit raps I don't feel. Y'all the main course on the meal. Followers be up in the mills. Probably got a house up on the hills. Probably getting a lot of riches, a lot of whips, and I can barely manage how to pay the bills. But I still be up in the studio, and my son eating good, so nutritional. Wish I could follow suit, but I tell it to the crew, so I gotta eat these rappers, I just let them know. Everybody know me, 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 everybody know me.
Yeah, what is going on, everybody? It's yours truly, the Ace, here with episode 12 of the series finale. It's been a while since we've done one of these, but this was such a huge series that I had to bring it back, and I had to bring on a special guest today. My boy Jason Custodio from the Yankee Overnights is in the building. What's up, brother?
Not much. Chilling, man. Chilling. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing good, man. You know, Yankees did salvage one game 4 of this 3-game set, and we're going to talk about it, but I want to say what's up to everybody in the chat first. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe, not only to the Ace Avenue, but Jason Custodio as well. Jacob, best mod on YouTube, did drop the link over there. Jason's channel is also in the description below, so make sure you guys give him a subscribe over there. He's on the road to 6K. Glad to see you and Jacob. You know, you didn't, block Jacob the other day after, he's been annoying mad people, on the Yankee universe, but that's good. Bill, thanks for popping in. Mad Steve is in the building as well. Mark, David, Jacob, Daniel Berry Sports Highlight. That caps off everybody. All right, Jason, let's go ahead and get right into it. So, Yankees coming off a stretch where 7 of the last 8 games, we know Minnesota Twins, they played some teams that, they should have beat. We all know that. This was really a measuring stick series for the New York Yankees, and in my opinion, coming out the gate, they failed. Great that we won this game, no doubt. Hopefully, this is a game that maybe we'll look back on and say, hey, maybe this could have been a game that sparked them. But ultimately, they came in, not only lost 3 out of 4, but got embarrassed. And none of the games were particularly close, in my opinion. This was a huge series, the first big test in the late season of the 2025 season, and the New York Yankees, in my opinion, failed. What were your thoughts going into this series and overall the outcome?
I mean, going into the series, it was a lot of wishful thinking. I'm not going to lie to you, man. A lot of wishful thinking, hoping that maybe that little streak they went on that road trip would spark something, ignite something, and a series win against Boston, their rivals, could be the start of something special. I was looking, to be honest, I wasn't even thinking wild card. I'm thinking Blue Jays, we're going to beat Boston and we're going to take this division back. Obviously that's not the case. A huge disappointment, embarrassment, just any word you could think of, honestly. They should be ashamed of themselves for the performance they put out this weekend. Granted, they got the last win at least just to save a little bit of face, but really, they beat Boston. Even though Boston, they didn't, I'm not going to say they punted this game, but they did take their foot off the pedal just a little bit because they had a comfortable, they just won 3 games in a row. They were fine. No reason to stress anything out or do anything out of the ordinary. And they still made it difficult. I'll say that.
Yeah, I could agree with that because, after I just got done, calling the game, the at-bats that the at-bat that the Red Sox took from game 1, 2, and 3 felt a lot different in this game. It really did feel like, and this was a quick game. I text you about it. I was like, yo, this game is kind of flying by. Because the Red Sox were just having bad at-bats. Whether you want to say, look, the one bright spot that I will say, and somebody brought this up in the chat, I forget who it was. I think it was 99 over 22. I believe he subscribed to you as well. He was like, the Red Sox got exposed this series with the lefties, because the 2 lefties that we had with Rodon and Fried did pitch well. Fried pitched well enough to win for us on Saturday. Unfortunately, the bats kind of shit themselves, And honestly, going into this series, I wanted two out of 4. You know what I'm saying? I was listening to your podcast as well, and you were saying Yankees need to take 3 out of 4. I was on the opposite side of that. Honestly, I wanted 2 out of 4 because it would have kept us in the same spot that we were kind of at, you know, a couple of games ahead of them. And then you could have at least felt like, okay, we're on this team's level. They get up for the New York Yankees. The Yankees don't seem to get up for these games. And at least taking 2 out of 4, like I said, you didn't lose any ground. But instead, we lose 3 out of 4. If the Yankees could have took 3 out of 4, great. If we could have took 4 out of 4, great. But I wanted 2 out of 4 at the end of the day. Unfortunately, we took 1 out of 4, which puts us back to a game behind them after winning this game. But we were going into this night, we were in real jeopardy of getting swept, and it would have been an embarrassment. It would have been one of the most embarrassing series of the season to have Boston celebrate on your field. Alex Cora's puffing his chest out, the comments that he said going into today's game. I think I sent that to you. What were your thoughts on Alex Cora's comments going into this game about playing in Yankee Stadium?
I mean, look, Alex Cora, he's gonna be Alex Cora. I mean, it's his job to kind of throw little jabs here and there at Boone. I mean, but clearly he outmanaged Boone every chance he gets. He outmanages him. I'm gonna be honest with you. But I would say this though, right? The reason why I was saying that we had to take 3 out of 4, obviously 2 out of 4 at the bare minimum is a split, right? But just imagine, you see how you feel losing 3 out of 4, right? We just lost 3 out of 4. Imagine how it feels kind of hopeless, right? Imagine if we would have did that to Boston, how the Boston fans would have felt. Because remember, we coming into the series, we were the top wildcard team. We had the lead over Boston. We had the advantage. We could have really put them at where they were. If we would have won 3 out of 4, they might not even be in the wildcard spot right now. Maybe the last wildcard spot. Instead, we let them take over and they handed it to us, man. Like, you know, shout out to them. They really came in and they shut this team down on all sides of the ball. I'm talking about defense, offense. They outmanaged us. They did everything better than us.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, this weekend, you know, you got a game. Great. Like, and this is why, like, with this Yankee team, man, even with taking 7 of 8 against, you know, the Twins and Tampa for 2 games and the Cardinals, like, I just kept saying great, but that doesn't move the needle for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, this series is going to be a measuring stick series to how well this team is going to play. And the Yankees showed they ass. And it started on Friday, dude. It started on Friday right out the gate in the second inning, where, you know, all of a sudden we're throwing the ball around. We're looking like a little league club out there. We had more errors in that game than we had runs scored. And it's like, I don't understand what goes on in Yankee clubhouse where you play these teams that matter and you start like imploding fundamentally, right? Now, when you're playing bad teams like, you know, the Twins, the Rays, stuff like that, you can get away with that, but you're not going to get away with that with the good teams. Also, the better teams punish you for those mistakes. How many times do we say all the time where we know this run is about to come home and score? You're giving teams extra outs and it's going to punish you immediately. And right out the gate, the Yankees set the tone. Once again, a sloppy Yankees showed up. Then game 2, the offense didn't show up. It was a no-show. And, you know, you're going against Brian Bayo, who, you know, a solid young pitcher, but he totally shut you down. Then you got shut down again by Garrett Crochet. You know what I'm saying? Not only do we waste a Max Fried start, then we get embarrassed like this entire weekend. This entire weekend was belt to ass. Like, the Red Sox get up for this series. Alex Cora always has these guys ready to play the Yankees, and it feels like Yankee Stadium for them is a home away from home. Like, they're really comfortable. It's not like the old days where people come in and like, yo, they see the pinstripe, stuff like that. These dudes are very comfortable.
They're way too comfortable.
You know, way too comfortable because and it starts at the top, dude. This team is soft. Like we were saying it all the time. This team is soft, and it does start at the top. Aaron Judge didn't do shit this series, dude. He had 2 hits. That's it. I don't know if the dude is hurt, if the dude is pressing, but it does seem like when Judge goes against the Bostons, the Astros of the world, even now the Blue Jays of the world, that he's not that MVP that we know. I don't know what needs to happen, but he needs to wake up. What were your thoughts on Aaron Judge overall in this series?
No, man. Look, the dude. Honestly, I'll be honest. I'm glad that they found a way to get Stanton in there. But Stanton's so hot that I was like, look, if Stanton can't play because Judge is DHing, then they need to have that tough conversation. Like, hey, maybe you should take a day off, Judge, because you ain't been doing nothing lately. And look, I'm a huge Judge fan, but look, we gotta call it how we see it, man. That's the problem with this team. Sometimes they just can't admit something that's so obvious right in front of their face. Like if this is a problem, but I get it. You know, Giancarlo Stanton can't play the outfield every single day, but his bat is so hot right now that his bat needs to be in the lineup every single day. So that's a tough conversation that Boone, Judge, and Stanton need to sit down and figure that one out. But I could tell that you know, there's a little stubbornness on our captain, on Judge too, to be honest. Even with the wishful thinking about him coming to play the outfield, we saw what happened with the comments Boone made about Boone pretty much said that he's not gonna be throwing like that, and he's not gonna be 100% in the field anymore for the rest, at least for the remainder of the season. Judge came back and said he don't know what Boone is talking about. You know, he's good. He haven't seen me throw, or whatever it was, right? That just shows that there's a disconnect on what the management feels like he's capable of doing right now and what he himself feels like he's capable of doing, if that makes any sense.
No, it makes sense.
Yeah.
No, it makes sense because dude, we all know, man, Aaron Boone's not the guy at the end of the day. Like, the disconnect with that is crazy. Like, are you not in tune with what's going on in your own locker room? And that type of stuff to me feels like sort of stepping stones that makes you think you're losing the locker room. For your captain Judge to come out and be like, I don't know what this guy's talking about, like, type stuff. It's like, it was like one of the red flags earlier in the year was another one where it's like, the reports were going out there saying they had a players only meeting, and Boone is like, no, they didn't. Like, he was kind of like, felt like he was kind of taking offense to that shit. I don't know what's going on, man, but it just feels like when you have these big games, the Yankees don't get up for them. Like, the same mistakes happen over and over. Like, we're not in that clubhouse, right? So we don't actually know what's being said, what's going on, but we know that nothing's changing because the same play is on the field. The same sloppy Yankees showed up in what should have been a big series for them. I don't understand how this is a team that you're fighting for. You're fighting in wild card positioning for, right? Now, like you said, going into the weekend, we did have the illusion of, hey, if we take 3 out of 4 and Toronto struggles, which Toronto did lose today, maybe the division is still in hand. And you never know if we're going to need that top, home field advantage, especially if Aaron Judge can't play and you're only going to play, if Aaron Judge can't play the field and you're only going to play Giancarlo Stanton in Yankee Stadium, we're going to need those home games. It's as simple as that to get Stanton's bat back in the lineup. Boone has a lot of work to do as far as navigating some of the stuff he's done. And today we saw one of those navigations as far as Anthony Volpe not playing in today's lineup. Whether that's something that's going to continue. Tomorrow is going to be a big day. A lot of us are going to be looking for the lineup tomorrow to see if Anthony Volpe's in there, because the excuse is right there. Oh, we're just going to give him a day instead of, because you don't want to embarrass him and say, hey, you're hitting the bench because your play has been putrid as of late. And Caballero comes in and does the little things. Got a sac fly. Where if it was Volpe in that situation, I feel like he was striking out or trying to hit a home run, because Volpe thinks like he's Aaron Judge, just a lot smaller. And instead of just doing the little things. But yeah, the lineup today, hopefully that Caballero is our starting shortstop going forward.
Yeah, he definitely has to be. I'm gonna be honest with you. Look, they can't keep running this guy out there. I'm sorry. They can't keep running Volpe out there. And look, it's nothing personal. It really isn't. But we have to put our best foot forward, from here on out. And that's the reason why I feel like from the first game of the series, we set ourselves up for failure. If you look at the career stats versus Giolito, who's the Boston starter for game 1, you had guys like Caballero had good numbers against him. Amed Rosario had great numbers against him. It was just so many questionable moves. Like, why was the lineup the way it is? Why did we get these two guys, right? Rosario, you saw when they put him in the game, he got a couple hits. He kills certain pitchers. He kills lefties, and he had a great career stats versus Giolito. Literally batting like, he was batting .417 in I think over like 20 something at bats. So this is a good sample size. Why he's not there, who knows, right? Why they didn't I think it was a pinch hit Austin Wells. They're late. I don't know what they're doing, but it seems like every day is something different. Like, we can't get our best 9 players, right? For once, can we just put the best 9 players on that field?
Yeah.
That's what we have to do. And Caballero needs to be the starting short. Unfortunately, my gut's telling me that they're gonna chalk this up as a scheduled day off for Volpe, and he'll be back in the lineup tomorrow. Even though he went 0 for life, he was literally like 0 for 12 this whole series with an error. Yeah, he's 0 for life. No, seriously, man, 0 for life with multiple errors. The one that he threw the second, I don't know if they charged him with an error for that one, but that was a dumb play right there. You don't make that play there. It's just, I think the Volpe experiment, it needs to come to an end, unfortunately.
Yeah, which sucks because like you could see like at moments the kid definitely has potential, but it's just not, he's not figuring it out at this level, and it's kind of at the point where it's too late to send him down. The Yankees got to ride this shit out, especially next year. You got to decide what you want to do. He's hitting arbitration next year. Like he's not going to break the bank, but it's like, what are you going to do? Are you going to bring this? Of course, they're going to bring this guy back because they've been hyping this kid up for so long. They're not going to let him walk. They're going to bring him back, but he has to figure it out ultimately at the end of the day. Like, or the next man needs to take over. Like, enough with this buddy stuff. Even like we saw early in the series, right? With Jazz Chisholm, like we talked about Alex Cora playing 4D chess and Aaron Boone is on dial-up, right? Where it's just like, you had a situation where Cora brought in the lefty to face Jazz. Why didn't you go to Ahmed Rosario in that situation? When a lot of us were like, yo, make the move. And Jazz is up there swinging for the fences like as he always does. Jazz is a player that's frustrating because we know Jazz is very talented. I think Jazz has star power, star potential, no doubt. But he has to be able to figure it out. He's got the arm. He's got the speed. He's got the athleticism. Jazz, to me, is a real deal player, but the problem is he's going up there swinging for the fences. And in a game like tonight, it's devil's advocate because it helps us out. It helps us win the game when you hit 2-2 on home runs. But now you're going to be in that mindset of, I got to go up there swinging for the fences every time. And ultimately, in the long haul, it's going to come back to haunt us. Like I said, a lot of us were saying that. I wasn't the only one saying it. A lot of us creators were saying the same thing. That home run derby was going to fuck up his swing. And it really felt like it did as well. Kyle Riley's numbers are also dipping down as well. That home run derby does take a toll on these players. And Jazz seemed to, with the whole 70% swing, that was great. You know what I'm saying? It was working for you for a while. Why did you go back to 100%?
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like, I feel like these guys get into that mentality where it's just home run or nothing. This team, if they don't hit home runs, they're not going to win. Like, it's obvious at this point. Look, today they won. They hit, 4 home runs, 5 home runs, whatever it was.
Our only run yesterday was a home run by Stanton.
Exactly, and then I want to talk about Friday, Ace, because Friday was really one of those games where even Saturday that 12-1 loss, it was bad, but it didn't really it was like, look, at that point, what are you gonna do, right? But Friday's game was a real gut punch, man. To lose 1-0 like that, to waste a good outing, right, from a starting pitcher, and to lose 1-0. We didn't have not even one runner in scoring position. We had 3 base runners that day, and none of them made it past first. Wells got doubled up, trying to go to second, I guess. No runners in scoring position. That is an embarrassment at home, and arguably the biggest series of the season against the biggest rival in sports, right? The Boston Red Sox. I mean, it doesn't get any more embarrassing than that. Like that had to be rock bottom, in my opinion. And then the next day they lost 12-1 to make it even worse. I don't know about this team, Ace. I'll be honest with you. I don't know about this team. I still think they're gonna slide into the playoffs. Just because the way it's looking, like you got the Kansas City's Royals behind them for that last wild card spot and everything, but I don't think they have the I don't think they could survive a wild card series, a best of 3, especially on the road. It's gonna be tough, man. It's really gonna be tough. Yeah. What say you?
No, I'm right there with you. I think, dude, this shit happens every single year, right? Now, last year we benefited from, playing the AL Central, which we own. So we went back to the World Series, no doubt, with beating up the Royals and beating up the Guardians, right? But when you have good teams in front of you, and dude, we have two division teams in front of us We have not played well against those teams. And the Yankee errors, right, against the Red Sox and Boston equate for about a third of our overall errors this year, which is crazy. So it just goes to show you that when it matters the most, this team folds. Honestly, this was my thing, and I've been saying this for a while already, right? This Boston series showed us who they are, right? But we know who the Yankees are. We know that they're going to try to get right against, they're going to win against the Nationals. They'll beat the White Sox in a 4-game set. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying they're going to take 4, but in this time frame, they'll go like they'll go 5-2 in this time frame. And then, you know, the vibes will get going. We'll hit a bunch of home runs against bad pitching. And then you'll start to think to yourself, is this team back? You'll have the day off in September on Labor Day, but then we got a gauntlet in the first 2 weeks of September at the Astros for 3. We know we don't play well against there. Aaron Judge doesn't show up against the Astros. Then we got 3 against Toronto. Then we have a day off, 3 against Detroit, and then 3 games at Boston. Those 12 games are brutal.
Yeah.
Like, what are you gonna do? Like, I fully expect maybe we'll win 1 out of, with how we're playing now, maybe win 1 game of every series. So that puts you at 4 wins in that stretch. I ultimately think in that time frame the Yankees will fall out of the playoff contention, but then you're going against Minnesota for 3, the Orioles for 4, White Sox for 3, and then the Orioles for 3. So then we'll streak back into the playoffs and ultimately get bounced in the first round. Like, it's kind of right there in front of you. But and the thing that's frustrating is the Yankees failed their first test, no doubt. But this is the time that they need to start getting hot and need to start figuring shit out. If you can go in this frame of the Astros, Blue Jays, Tigers, and Red Sox, if you can start getting hot and you can start beating these good teams, because these are all teams you're going to face in the playoffs. If you can start beating them, then maybe I'll start to believe again that you can get it done. But you feasting off the bottom of the barrel team, smacking 12 home runs off of the White Sox, that's not going to do anything for me. And people asked me today, I told them, I said, look, enjoy this victory, no doubt, because you got to enjoy every victory. But it's not moving the needle for me because I know who this team really is. They could change my opinion in 2 weeks during this 12-game stretch, but it remains to be seen. Shout out to everybody in the building. You guys are amazing. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe. Shout out to lovely Grace Monroe from Uptown Sports. They do a great job. Grace, drop the link to y'all channel that you do over there with Hector down below if you can. She says, we're not dead yet. She out here sounding like Chadwick Boseman T'Challa. Like, as you can see, I am not dead, and I am clearly not surrendered. But
technically, you're not, right? Technically, yeah. Mathematically, it's still possible. Even the division is still possible. So I'll give you that, Grace. But right now, we're on life support, and all it takes for somebody to pull that plug, and the team is going down. That's how it feels. Like any given night, it could really go south right now. It's hard because I really want to root for this team, and sometimes they've shown me glimpses of what they should be and what they could be, right? But it seems like they just get in their own way. 4 errors and 3 errors in 1 inning, Ace. The first game, right out the gate, in the biggest series of the season versus the Boston Red Sox, your arch enemy. I'm talking about, this is the biggest rival. This is freaking Batman, Joker, Superman, Lex Luthor. This is the
Spider-Man, Venom, everything.
Yeah, this is your arch nemesis, and this is how you come out the gate. You know, just a straight embarrassment. As a Yankee fan, it really hurts my soul, man. It really does, because I have to take this from the Boston Red Sox. They love it. They love when the Yankees suck this bad, when they making all these errors. They love it. Just proves everybody's point. And it's unfortunate. It really is, you know, that this is the reason why we lost the World Series last year, and we still can't figure it out. We can't play fundamental baseball. It's just, I really don't know what it is. No matter who we bring in here, we changed a bunch of players. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Look, even everything that's going on with Jason Dominguez, right? How you can't even put him out there really because his defense is just too dicey, you know. So we don't see him out there no more. And that you could tell that's really taking a hit on him, because he did play a game, but mentally you could tell he was checked out. You know, it's hard to come in and play once a week and feel like you're involved or you're a part of something. It's just a lot. This season's been a tough season. I'm not gonna lie. This is one of the toughest seasons.
this no lie. Like when somebody's like, "Is this worse than 2023?" I'm like, "Bro, yes." Because this team is more talented and this team is underperforming. You could tell, like, especially like when it gets bad early, like with that Red Sox series, you could just see it around the guys' faces. They look defeated. They're like, okay, let's just get this shit over with. Because that goes to Aaron Boone in them. Because they do look at this as the Red Sox fans, more power to them. They, my notification's been blowing the fuck up too. Like, and it's annoying. I hate losing to the Red Sox. But to the victor go the spoils. It's as simple as that. They have the right. They have the right to dance on the Yankees' graves. Like Dodger fans, like this guy Andrew, coming to every stream, like loving it. The media, the mainstream media, loves it when the Yankees lose. Everybody else wins, right? More power to them. And it's up to the Yankees to change that narrative. Until they do, we're going to continue to be a laughing stock of the league. When you come in, like you said, one of the most important series that's right in front of you, right? Aaron Boone got asked this during the Rays series, and he kind of just like shrugs it off like, hey, yeah, we'll see. Like, bro, it's okay for you to say this is an important series for us. Knowing the world isn't going to blow up and everybody's not going to criticize you if you decide to actually care and show some passion, show some emotion. Like, this is why everybody loves Giancarlo Stanton. When he listens, everybody talks. Stanton knows what time it is, tries to get these guys up, but he can't go up there and take at-bats for guys. He can't go up there and stop Volpe from swinging for the fences. You know what I'm saying? He can't all of a sudden get Judge hot again. You know, he can't, go out there and pitch. You get the point. But it's frustrating because this team is talented. You can see that this team is very talented, but they're underperforming. Boone is getting the least out of these guys. And with the moves that he's making, whether it's bad bullpen decisions or not playing guys, you know what I'm saying, like not pitch hitting guys, having Alex Cora run circles around him, it gets frustrating for us, no doubt. And we look at this team like it's the same Yankees, just a different year. And that's when it gets the most frustrating.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, yeah, same Yankees, different year. It's been like this. It seems like the past several years. And the most frustrating thing for me, right, as a fan is that I don't see them changing anything. Like, like the whole universe is burning behind them, and they're looking at you dead in your face and telling you everything's fine here. You're like, what are you talking about? Did you watch the game that I just watched? Because everything's obviously not fine. You have a shortstop.
TVs.
Yeah. And I hate to keep picking on Volpe, but it's just that, I mean, he makes it easy. I mean, let's be honest. But yeah, hopefully we'll see what happens, right? And it's funny because every time you think they're about to right the ship, like they're about to make the right move, the obvious move for the betterment of the team, and not to appease certain people's feelings, I guess. They take a step back and they revert right back to the old ways, like today, Caballero starting, right? You think it's really like this is how it's gonna be? Like he's gonna get a legitimate shot?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think?
I think Volpe's gonna be in the lineup tomorrow. I think
exactly.
It would not look. We're all gonna be waiting to see when that lineup drops. I think Volpe will be in the lineup. You know what the Yankees will do? This would be the Yankee move, right? You're going to have Volpe at short and Caballero playing right field. So that way you kind of have them both in at the same time. And then you're going to sit either Stanton or Judge for one of those days. So that way you say, we got to get Volpe in, got to have a shortstop. Caballero's playing right field. That would be the Yankees. When realistically, Volpe's ass need to be sat down. Like, yeah. I mean, he's the whipping boy right now, no doubt, right? But he's done it to himself with his terrible play. Like, dude, his number, and the thing is, like you and I talked about, and I heard you talking about it earlier today, the Yankee fans are frustrated because of the narrative, right? Where all the players that we passed up on because of Anthony Volpe that we could have had, the Yankees were telling us this kid, it wasn't just the Yankees, there were other people around the league too saying this kid is going to be good. Watch out when he comes up. It didn't work out. And then like when he comes up here and he plays horrible, it's just like, yo, it's just so frustrating because like before, you didn't have any options. You didn't have any other options. You had to put them out there. It's not like Peraza was up there lighting the world on fire. What sucked for us was the fact that Cabrera got hurt, because Cabrera could have spelled Volpe a lot at shortstop because he's done that before, right? But then now there's no excuse. You have Caballero up here who has played well at shortstop, who has hit well. He is a speed threat on top of that as well. And on top of that, like he does the little things that Volpe is incapable of doing. So now there's no excuse. Now you're kind of just leaving him out there to dry. Grace Monroe would say this all the time on Uptown Sports. Get this kid some help. The Yankees are leaving him out there to dry. You think he wants to stay out there and constantly hear boos and criticism? You think that's going to be good for his psyche? No. He's not rise to the occasion. He's folding under the pressure.
No, you know what it is though. I think that it's that they've already went too far down the line with this. Look, it's not uncommon, right, for a first round draft pick like Volpe is, right? It's not uncommon for a first round draft pick, a top prospect in your system, to come up and struggle, right? It's not uncommon. Those guys, it happens all the time, every day in the major leagues. They send them back down, or they do what they got to do to player development to get them right, and then when they're ready, they come back and they perform. Look at like Jackson Holiday or some people. Not everybody's a Roman Anthony who just gets up here and automatically just takes off, right? You look at what the Mets do with Francisco Alvarez, or this happens all the time, right? With Volpe is different because they brought him up here, he struggled, and they said, no, you're good, don't worry about it. Instead of saying, no, you need to work on this, you need to do this, you're fine, you're good. Season goes by, everything's okay. Second season, same thing, everything's okay. And now we season 3 when obviously it's not okay, and now his defense is being affected. And now I feel like they've waited so long when they should have been sent them down, Ace. That's what I'm trying to say. To make a long story short, they should have been sent them down, and now they've went so far down the rabbit hole that they're afraid if they send this kid down, they're gonna break him. You understand? And there's too much invested in him.
If that's the case, though, if he's that mentally weak, he shouldn't be here anyway.
Yeah, you're right. But it's just that, and I get it why it'll be tough, right? I get why it'll be tough. Imagine that, man. He probably bought an apartment or a house or whatever in New York City. He never thought, after 3 years of being a starting shortstop, New York Yankees, hit a grand slam in the World Series, he probably never thought that he'd be back in a minor league baseball field, and it looks like that's might be the case. Yeah, Susan says he's already broken. You're right. He is. But the thing is that they've doubled down, and you know how the Yankees, they're arrogant. The Yankees organization are very stubborn. They don't like to admit when they're wrong. And they've doubled down, they've tripled down, and right now they're quadrupling down on Anthony Volpe. A lot is riding on him. A lot is riding on him. I'm telling you. You saw the comments that Brian Cashman made to Joel Sherman outside the winter meetings. What is it, last year, the year before? Believe me,
2023.
Yeah, they're willing to go down on that ship, or at least gaslight everybody or something. Or hopefully, versus these two teams coming up, the Nats and the White Sox, maybe, against some weaker pitching, maybe he comes up and hits a few home runs, has a couple good games, and all of a sudden is all forgotten, and we think Volpe's back. I don't know.
He's a streaky player, man, no doubt. Like, Volpe might benefit from a couple days off because he gets off to a hot start when he gets time off, like beginning of the season, right after the All-Star break. Give the dude like 3 or 4 days, man. Like, and then see what happens. Give him, honestly, Caballero needs to start. And if Volpe somehow wins the job back, so be it. It's as simple as that. But the best players need to play. Grace says not too late to say Volpe, but they have to do something, not just keep sending him out there. Yeah, it's like the Yankees are sending him out there like he's a lamb to the slaughter. They're not doing anything to help him. Because in their mind, the shit that they put out there, they think that he's legit. They think that they've said it. They think he's elite. In what world? Like, what world? What am I watching? Is it in your MLB The Show franchise that he's elite? Because he's not doing it on the Yankee field. Like, they do the same thing with Austin Wells. Boone was on an interview the other day talking about, we think Austin Wells does have the All-Star the capability to get to an All-Star level. I don't see it. Not with how he's been playing. And it's situations like this where Wells takes away, as Susan says, Wells should sit too, let Rice catch. Absolutely. Like, Austin Wells, and the thing, you want to know what pissed me off this weekend, dude? This really made me mad, right? Because Friday night, right? Every series this year, right, on the weekend series, the day game after a night game, the Yankees have never played the same catcher, right, that let them catch 2 days in a row. If you got a night game on Friday, somebody else is catching on a Saturday day game. Austin Wells messed up, right, on that Friday game where he got picked off. Why was he starting the next day? You had the opportunity to let Rice behind the plate, And you could have said you could have did one of these things like you're probably doing with Volpe. We're gonna bench him, but we're not really gonna let him know in public because we have the built-in excuse that we don't play at the same catcher day games at the night games. But Austin Wells was rewarded with another opportunity out there. Like, how are you teaching these guys that if they continue to make the same mistakes, Austin Wells clearly has never run the bases. Like, that play is inexcusable, dude. It's one thing that you know, a couple weeks ago where you forgot how many outs it was, you got off the base, that could have killed us in the ninth inning. But what play are you trying to make, dude, that you're that far off the bag, you get picked off at first? That pissed me off.
Yeah, that was he just had a brain fart, but it feels like there's too many brain farts, too many burritos. I guess that'll do that to you. The burritos will do it to you, man. They give you gas, man, and he's farting through his brain at this point. Yeah, you know, I think that the reason that happened is because I think Boone didn't like what he saw from Rice behind the plate on Thursday's game, where he threw one away, right? He almost threw two away. McMahon saved him on one. And I think the only reason Boone puts Bryce out there is because that's what everybody's calling for. But I really think he doesn't want him there, because if that was the case, he would have had him as the backup catcher from the beginning of the season. But he didn't. They didn't start putting Rice to catch till recently. You know, since like the second half of the season, right? Like after the All-Star break is when he really started catching, and they sent JC down because they realized that they have to play this guy. They really do. Yeah, man. I think that those two throwing mistakes really did it for him, and I don't think that Boone has a lot of confidence in him or the Yankees organization and Rice behind the plate. But his bat is so good that you gotta at this point is you know, it's worth it, in my opinion, because Wells ain't giving you nothing, and his defense ain't too great either. He missed a freaking routine pop-up.
And that was a turning point.
It was,
because
exactly.
If you make that catch, who knows what happens that inning. Instead, like I said, good teams take advantage of us giving them extra outs, and Austin Wells does that shit. Jose's G Insight, what up, man? Thank you for the 2. Appreciate you. Says I'm keeping I'm assuming that means receipts.
Yeah.
Wasn't he on your channel?
Yeah. He be on the channel. So his receipt, man, Jose, man. So he got 2 receipts. His first one, he said the Yankees are making it to the World Series. Screenshot this, right? And then he said, you know what, scratch that one. The latest one is the Yankees will make it into the wild card, face Boston in the wild card series, and we're gonna beat Boston in the wild card series.
Look, man, I would love for that to happen. Look, I'm on here and appreciate you, Jose, man. Thank you for the $2 dono. He also says Yankees will turn to Savages. Let's go. Appreciate that. I hope. And make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe to the Ace Avenue and my boy Jason Custodio. Look, I put myself on the line every day, right? I'll gladly eat crow if the Yankees turn this around. If you want to clip whatever and you want to go viral and say Ace said this, the Yankees would be cooked, blah, 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 blah. If we turn around and turn this around, great. This is exactly what we want. But until then, it's like it remains to be seen. We honestly can't, like, until this team proves it, this team has to prove it. Like, there's nothing I've seen over the past, since June, dude, that has allowed me to say this team has the capacity to get it done. Like, the AL, people, regardless of what people want to say, the AL is weaker, blah, blah, blah. The top teams in the NL are at the top, whatever you want to say, right? The Yankees should have an easy spot. Nothing's easy for this team because they do it to themselves. The self-inflicted wounds, like we saw on Thursday, can rear their ugly head at any time. And there are teams like Boston, Houston, Toronto, Detroit that are waiting for the Yankees to make an opportunity for them to capitalize. They could be dead all game, and then you find that one crack in the armor and they take off. Look at how bad it got on Saturday, dude. It was a 6-1 game for the most part, and then a blink of an eye in one inning exploded for 7 runs. And I was just like, bro, end this game. Like, That's what the Yankees would do, man. Now, our offense does have the capability of exploding as well, but we got to hit the home run because we can't manufacture runs. When you have, how many times, I mean, we saw earlier in this week, right, where Rice hits a triple, one away. We can't get him in. All of our runs
Yep.
come via the home run, and you're not facing bad pitching in the playoffs. You're going to be facing everybody's best. Now, could a good pitcher make a mistake? Yeah, but you got to take advantage of it. But this Yankee team hasn't shown me the capability of being World Series contenders.
Yeah, man. I mean, look, that's why today that sac fly by Caballero, that was a breath of fresh air. Because in a spot like that, I usually if Volpe's in that spot, I feel like he's gonna strike out or hit into a double play, or it's not gonna be good, you know. And maybe that's just me because I have a negative taste about with Volpe. Like he's just when him and Wells are at the play, I just have I never get a sense of I never get a feeling that they're gonna do something good. You know, I never get that feeling like okay, they're gonna get it done. It's tough. Another guy who's been struggling is Ryan McMahon too. He hasn't really been doing much of anything lately. At least his defense has been solid still. But I would say this though, Ace, on a good note though, at least Max Fried had a good outing. That's good to see because I don't know what's going on with him, but ever since the All-Star break, he has not been himself. And Rodon's outing today wasn't bad, right? It wasn't bad. It was pretty good. It got a little dicey there for a second, especially when Roman Anthony hit that freaking shot to the outfield with bases loaded. I thought that thing was gone, dude. I thought it was gone.
It could have just been me that noticed this. You felt like a lot of balls in this series were dying at the track, like because I felt like that.
It did feel like that, man. I mean, it could be the wind. They did say that the wind was blowing a lot. I don't know. Like maybe they're using a dead ball. I have no idea. I know today though we got a few home runs. Yeah, so it's gonna be tough. Look, the Yankees. Like, so what do you think? Right, these next, what is it, 7 games versus the Nats and the White Sox. How many of these games do they need to win to kind of keep
5.
themselves in it? 5 out of 7.
5, but it doesn't move me either way. Like
Yeah.
I said it in today's game too. You can go out there and score 100 runs. It's not going to change how I feel about this team because when it comes to facing the bad teams, or you know, you're gonna go. Yankees are gonna hit a whole. Don't get it twisted. We know Yankees are gonna hit a bunch of home runs versus these bad teams, and it's gonna make you feel like okay, maybe they're finding something. Until that 2-week stretch, that's when I'm gonna determine. That's going to be the season for me. Either it's going to make or break. These next 7 games really aren't moving the needle for me, dude. We can go out there and win 7 in a row. We could score, you know, average 50 runs a game. It's not going to do anything for me because these aren't good teams. You're supposed to handle your business.
No, yeah, you're right. But I mean, if we're going to keep losing to the good teams, we better not lose not one game to these bad teams. That's something like 7 for 7 after losing 3 straight to the Boston Red Sox. And getting swept by Toronto earlier and having difficulties with Toronto. These are all teams we're about to face in 2 weeks, right? All the teams we can't beat. So we got. I'm saying 7 for 7, just straight crush these teams. I'm talking about crush them. Don't punt, because I know that's what Boone likes to do. He's gonna feel like he could take his foot off the gas a little bit versus these teams. I don't care. I don't care. We win 50-0. Do not let up, man. Like pad the stats, whatever it is, whatever you want to call it. But maybe that'll spark something. Maybe it'll spark something and going into that Houston series to start September.
It's hard to say, man, because that 7 and 8 didn't spark shit.
I know, yeah.
Didn't. Like, don't let the smooth
we gotta
taste
do it
fool
again,
you, bro.
though.
We're gonna do it again. Don't let the smooth taste fool you. We know who this Yankee team is, and they showed us who they are. Now, multiple things could be true. Could they change? Yeah, but it's not gonna get me excited over this 7-game stretch. Like, you got to handle your business versus the Nationals. The Nationals are a very feisty young team. The White Sox, you should go in there and sweep their asses 4 games in a row. But it is hard because the nature of the game, it is hard to sweep, you know, teams. Obviously, you know, the Yankees were able to salvage one. We almost got swept. But those 12 games versus Houston, Tampa, Houston, Toronto, Detroit, and Boston, that's going to tell me all I need to know about the Yankees. Because, like, if you are able to, in those 12 games, dude, if you're able to win 8 or 9 of those 12, and I just want to win series at the end of the day. Let's say you go, you win every series versus 2 out of 3 versus Houston, 2 out of 3 versus Toronto, Detroit, and Boston. Then you start getting hot beating up on these rest of the bad teams, then is the time that you can start surging into the playoffs and take some momentum. But we're also going to need Aaron Judge to get healthy, because we're going as far as Aaron Judge. It's as simple as that. Like, he doesn't seem like he's 100% healthy. And when I say healthy, I mean he needs to be playing in the field so that way we can have Stanton DHing every day. Because God forbid if Stanton, gets hurt out there and then he's out and Judge isn't 100%. Giancarlo Stanton's our best playoff player. It's as simple as that. We need him at 100%.
Yeah, to be honest, that's why I think that 10-day IL, they should have just put him like on a 30-day IL, Judge. They should have shut him down completely for a little bit. They really should have. I already knew this was gonna happen when the whole thing came out with the flexor strain or whatever it is. I already knew because the Yankees do this all the time. That's why I say I don't know how we get fooled by these guys. Whenever they say is wrong with a player, they're not giving you the full story. We've seen it so many times. Poor Anthony Rizzo played with a damn concussion for like a month before they say, hey, this guy is not well.
Yep. Mark Leiter Jr. this year.
Mark Leiter Jr.
Four outings in a row.
Yep.
No one said anything.
No one said anything. Yeah, they kept throwing it. If it was up to Booms, they'll throw him out there till his arm falls off. Instead it was his shin or whatever, his shin splints. And it's just so many times. That's why I feel like, to me personally, there's more to this Aaron Judge thing. Hopefully I'm wrong. Knock on wood. Hopefully at the end of the season he doesn't have to have surgery or anything like that. But the fact that Boone came and said, right? Boone said he's not going to be 100%. That he's not going to be to the point where he can really throw push real oomph into his arm at least until the end of the season. And when Judge came back and said he don't know what he's talking about, that told me right there, because Boone, look, I get it that Boone, he can be a buffoon sometimes, but he wouldn't have said that if he didn't get that from the trainers themselves or from the medical staff on the Yankees. That's my opinion, right? Look, none of this is verified. This is just my opinion. I don't think Boone said that out of nowhere. I think he said that because that's what the trainers told him. But Judge is being stubborn, or maybe Judge was upset that he even said anything like that, because you don't need to put that out there. The teams don't need to know that, that he's never going to come back to right field, pretty much. And if that's the case, right, I'll leave it with this last thing. My bad, Ace. If what Boone said is true, that he's not going to be able to really throw like that, but they still going to put him in right field, then at that point they shouldn't do it, because you're risking the best hitter on this planet for 2026 at least. Granted, this year is going to be tough to win anything, but God forbid he goes out there and not thinking right on a play where he feels that he could throw somebody out, and mentally just launches it, forgetting that his arm is messed up like that and really hurting it. And then we have bigger problems.
Yeah. What would irritate me too, and I just dropped the link to the live for Jason. You guys can be redirected after this. We're gonna pop over there in like the next 5-10 minutes. We're gonna finish up here and pop and continue the conversation over there. I heard you say this earlier, and it would irritate me as well. If we finish out the season, Yankees get eliminated, and then Judge has to go under the knife and misses sometime next season, that's gonna piss me off. Because like, not only did we waste this season, then we're potentially wasting next season as well. So it's like, it's just one of those things where our medical staff, I don't know, man. We got one of the worst medical staffs out there. Like you said, the Rizzo thing, the Mark Leiter Jr. thing. But at the same time too, sometimes I put the onus on the players as well. Sometimes it's a player's nature to be like, yeah, I'm good, even though you're banged up. Sometimes you might just have to be like, yo, I don't got it today. Like something is really wrong. Because with that Judge injury, remember, we all saw him wincing out there. Yankees had a day off. And then the next day he was out there, and then the very next day is when they said he's hurt. So it's just like, And he didn't
want to go on the IL. He even said he didn't want to go on the IL. They forced him to. They literally had to talk to him, and then somebody else had to sit down with him and talk to him like, look, dude, you got to go on the IL. Yeah, sometimes you got to save a player from himself. And I'm not saying that's the case here. I just hope they know what they're doing with him, because he's just too valuable to this team. And I'll leave it at that,
Nah, he's too important, no doubt. Like we know that, and he's the best player in the game, and we're gonna need him to step up his play. If he's not 100%, dude, he's been horrible as of late. 2 hits in this big series. One was a single, one was a double, and it's like some of the big at bats. Like he came close one time to hitting a home run, but we're gonna need Aaron Judge to step up exponentially if this team wants to go anywhere. It's as simple as that. So. But we do appreciate all you guys, man. Make sure you guys hit that like button, guys. Hit that subscribe to the Ace Avenue and Jason Custodio. We're gonna pop right over there in a second. Give me your series standout of this series, because for me, I think it's got to be Max Fried. Big start for him. You know, has he gotten right? Only time will tell. But he did step up when we needed him most. Unfortunately, the offense just couldn't get it together.
Yeah, Max Fried definitely stepped up. Who else? It's tough, man, because there's not a lot of positives taken from this. I'm trying to think of the bullpen. Anybody stand out in the bullpen? Well, Devin Williams wasn't terrible, I guess. Ben Rice.
That's the bar for Williams. He wasn't terrible.
He wasn't terrible. It's hard to say, really. I think, Max Fried. Is Stanton, definitely Stanton, 1 home run.
He smoked the ball today, though.
Yeah, he got a couple hits today, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And maybe Ben Rice. Ben Rice hit that big home run, you know, in the first game.
Yeah.
That's about it.
See a couple people saying, Gray said Stanton tonight, Devin and Luke. They did their thing. The bullpen did their thing.
Yeah, Luke did.
Bednar was good at times. Grisham. That could be another one. Grisham with a big game. Let me ask you something, because we're getting to this. You bringing back Grisham next year?
It depends on what kind of money he's looking for. It all depends, and it depends too what happens with Cody Bellinger.
Bellinger's priority number 1 for me.
Yeah, you know that affects everything. Because if you lose Bellinger, then you're kind of looking at Grisham a little more like, okay, this could possibly happen. You know, look, Kyle Tucker's not having his greatest season. So I don't know if you want to go down that road. Yeah, maybe not. I don't. You know, maybe that's just this is a one-off. You know, and he'll return back to his normal self. Maybe not. I would say this though, right? That Wrigley Field, the Cubs, whatever it is over there, is not conducive to left-handed batters. That's why Cody Bellinger didn't have great seasons over there. Well, his first season was okay, but it's not a lot of great numbers. And Kyle Tucker's feeling that. And if he's smart, I don't think he's going to re-sign with them like everybody thinks he is because of that. Unless they offer him a huge bag, then that's different.
I think they would have done it by now. Like, here's the thing, right? Cody Bellinger's priority number 1 for me. I saw... It was Sam from Fireside Yankees. Great channel over there, too, by the way.
Yeah.
He put out a short that was like, we should bring back Bellinger, go get Kyle Tucker, and then flip Dominguez and Spencer Jones and some other packages for Paul Skeens or an elite pitcher. Like, I'm like, because the Yankees are in win now mode, man, and we clearly can't develop guys while trying to win. Like, do you have any faith that from what we've seen of Volpe, Wells, and the short time with Dominguez, I do think Dominguez has a lot of upside. So Grace, don't yell at me. You know I'm a Dominguez guy. So that's her boy right there. But do you see, like, are we getting too excited over George Lombard Jr. and Spencer Jones? Like, is this just going to be the same shit? Because more or less, dude, it's proven that it's going to be the same stuff. So why not sell high on these guys and bring in proven commodities to help us win now? Bring back Bellinger, bring back a Kyle Tucker. Ben Rice will go to first base or behind the plate. You know what I'm saying? You figure that situation out. But it's a tough situation because I'm afraid that if you bring back a guy like Trent Grisham, I feel like this is just your typical contract year. He's balling out because he's in a contract year. And he's going to go back to because he's having career numbers here, dude. Like, he's never done this before. And what's going to happen if you give him that money? He's going to revert back to the back of his baseball card? It's tough, man. It really is.
I tell you what, man. You know who else had career years here? A career year here? Juan Soto, man. It's no secret that when you batting in front or anywhere around Aaron Judge in Yankee Stadium as a lefty, your numbers are gonna go up. You know, so I hope that plays into it. And I think that he actually does want to be a Yankee, but he signed a deal with the devil, and the devil's name is Scott Boras, and so they're about making money, and they're gonna play this thing.
Agent too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about. He signed that deal,
Oh, okay.
and they're gonna play this thing to the end. They're gonna squeeze Brian Cashman for every ounce of every coin he has in his pocket. They squeezing it out of him. So we'll see what happens. We got to get through this
Yeah.
season first.
Yeah. Like I said, Bellinger's priority number one for me, just based on, like, even if you wanted to say Bellinger goes to first base, like, we're going to pay you like an outfielder, you could play first base, he can do it, and you want to bring up Spencer Jones, do what you got to do. But that's going to be in the offseason. We're going to have a lot of time to talk about this. I'll definitely be bringing you guys on, you know, during the off season. We're gonna have a full off season to talk about all this stuff. Grace, I would love to get you on one of these shows, Grace. We got to make it happen. People have been asking me to bring back the series finale. I've been slacking, man, because it's an everyday grind to call the live play-by-play. You know, you're doing the live streams every day as well, so
Yeah.
it definitely is a grind. But I do appreciate you for popping on here, Jason. We're gonna head over to Jason's channel. Right after this, you guys are going to get redirected, so the conversation will continue over there. I do appreciate you guys. Hit that like, hit that subscribe to the Ace Avenue for your Yankee coverage, movies, and more by yours truly. Any final thoughts?
Man, let's go Yankees, man. They got to put up or shut up. It's go time. It really is, man. In the words of Boone, we got to play better.
Oh, I thought you were going to hit you with the
It's right in front of us. It's right there. It's right there.
The new Booneism is we're not running out of time.
Oh yeah, time. What are you talking about? You know?
Yeah. Okay. The best baseball is right in front of us. When? April?
Mm-hmm.
Like, because the calendar, I see how Boone operates. April is ahead of us coming next year, so that's what he's talking about. April, May, the best baseball is ahead of us. Yeah. So
Yeah, man. We'll see.
But we appreciate you guys, man. We'll see you guys in a few. Make sure you guys stay tuned. We're switching right over to Jason's channel. Have a good night, guys. Those that don't, see you guys in a few. As always, thank you for tuning into the Ace Avenue. I'm yours truly, the Ace, with Jason Custodio. Adios.